Hello guys, my name is Bashir Saab and I'm doing my personal video for gender, race, and identity class. So my name is Bashir Saab and I'm 19 years old. I was born on April 15th, 1996, which is tax day. I'm sure it's not everyone's favorite day, but I was born in a small hospital in the country of Lebanon. It's called Shuaifat Hospital. It was in my hometown, 2 minutes away from where I lived. And I have one older sibling. He's 22 right now, and I'm 19. So that's how it worked out for me. I have one father also who lives in America, and it's just my brother and my father and I that's living here in America, and all my other family lives. My mother's side lives in Lebanon, and my father's side lives in Dubai. So for me, that's how it's always been. My parents are divorced, so when I was a young kid, they were going through the divorce and they finalized it. And then my father won custody. They were fighting over custody for my brother and I. My father won custody, so he brought us over to the United States of America to pursue our careers and education over there and make something for ourselves. My father was always an American citizen, and that gave us a blessed opportunity to come over here. And I moved to Vegas in the second grade, and then there was problems with my family, so we moved back. They finalized the divorce, and then I came back fourth grade. And every year since, I go back and forth, and I stay in touch with my culture since I was based over there. My foundation was Lebanese. I'm raised to think and act the way I am because of my Lebanese culture, and that's why I continue to go back visit my family in Dubai and Lebanon. But at the end of the day, I'm Lebanese, and I always stay in touch with my culture. Um, Before coming to the United States, it was a huge thing for me because I wasn't sure what to expect with this country. I barely knew how to speak English. I watched a lot of movies before, so I could speak better English. The second language in Lebanon is French, so I was learning French at the time. And then all of a sudden, my father told me we're going to America, so I had to learn English. So I started watching Cartoon Network, all these cartoons to try to get me to understand the English language, so I could communicate and get myself around. But right when I came over here in the second grade, at first, I was confused on what people were saying. I had to think in my language to try to get my words across perfectly, and that was just a huge culture shock. Just seeing how people act in my country, all the culture differences are completely different than the United States, and here there were so many people from everywhere. So it's like everyone was put together in one country, and I wasn't used to that because in Lebanon there were all Lebanese people. So, and the only people that weren't Lebanese were tourists, and you could totally detect when there was a tourist. Um, so that's one of the big factors in my life. I When I came over here, I was still trying to adapt to my society. I was still trying to adapt to what I'm gonna get accustomed to continue my education here, since I knew I was gonna stay in this country. And I continued to visit every summer, which kept me in touch with my culture. I still speak the language fluently, and I'm currently trying to learn how to speak Spanish at the moment. I just started a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully I'll get my third language in. And right now I'm a sophomore in college. I'm 19 years old. I finished elementary school, middle school, and high school in Vegas, and I did my first year of college at College of Southern Nevada. And just wasn't happy with the education I was getting. I felt like I deserved better. The education just wasn't there. The professors just did not like to help the students. So I decided to go to a university. I didn't want to go to UNLV because I wanted to get a better experience, and also that was a huge factor in my life because my family has not ever had a person who's left their hometown to go to college. They always studied in their hometown. So, and I'm very family oriented. I've always been, and everyone in my culture is pretty much family oriented. So it's all about your family. So I didn't want to leave them for that reason. Also, another reason why I didn't want to leave them is because all I lived with in America is my father and my brother. I already left all my other family in Lebanon and Dubai. So I figured, since I already left them, why should I leave the only family I have here? and go and study abroad, not abroad, away, when I could study in at UNLV and be 15 minutes away from my home. So that was a big step for me. But coming to UNR really, really changed my way of thinking in such a small period of time. And I'm not just saying this, but when I started taking GRI, it was a random thing. I went to my advisor. I said, I need a class to fill in my credit requirement. What should I do? She said, oh, it looks like you need a course like this. And one of the students actually advised me. I don't remember her name, but she advised me to take gender, race, and identity. Going into the class, I did not know what to expect. It was a blur. Like I went in there knowing that all I need to do is get a good grade in this class, get my GPA better, and continue on, move on with my courses, my academic career. So the first day in class, Professor Jody, told us all to stand up and speak our names, say who we are, and talk about ourselves, and identify ourselves, how we identify ourselves. So it was a shock to me because there were so much students in the class and people were nervous. Of course, America's biggest fear is public speaking. So for people to stand up and say who they are and say what they believe and say how they identify was a big step, and a lot of people weren't ready for it and weren't expecting it. Normally, on the first day of school, all you do is look at the syllabus, go home, and then you prepare mentally for what you're going to have to end up doing. This class was completely different. This class, it seemed easy in the beginning, but I mean, if you don't know how to state your opinion and be aware of things, then it's not the right course for you. It takes a lot of heart to speak and say your opinion. So that's what was amazing about this course, and we went through a lot of topics. I could go on all day about it, and I have so much to talk about. Every day after the class, I would go and speak to my friends and say, "What do you think on this situation? How do you think? How do you feel about that situation? Do you believe this should happen?" I just wanted to get everyone's opinion to relate it to mine and to see if I'm thinking correct and how I'm thinking. So I always like sharing my opinion in class, and a lot of times it led to some interactions, some tense interactions, but at the end of the day I knew that everyone's thoughts were different. This is one thing that the class taught me. It showed me that everyone thinks differently, everyone's lived through different experiences. I just told you some of my experience, and this is a brief. We've been recording for 7 minutes, but this is so brief compared to all the experiences I've faced in my life to that I've founded the person I am right now. So I looked around and I said, this is how everyone was. Everyone has their own story, and this is why they think the way they do. So one thing that we spoke about is race. We had to answer this question like second week of school of the class of the course. So the question was, do you ever think about your race? And in that time, I had never ever no one's ever asked me that question. I tried thinking back and I could not think. I could not think if I ever thought of my race, and obviously it's because I haven't ever thought of my race. I never thought that my race was what mattered in society, especially because I never asked that question to anyone else. So I did not know what to expect. So when I was asked that question, I said no, I don't ever think about race. And then there was another question that said, have you ever been discriminated against? And with that question, I tried thinking back, and it took me a couple of minutes, but I did think back on something, and that something was when I was a kid, a little kid. I would always travel back and forth from America to Lebanon and to Dubai just to see my family, visit my family every summer. So I'm in contact with both of them, and every single time, even as a little kid, unaccompanied minor, I remember being brought to the back of the airport. They told me it was a random security check, and I was a little boy, not knowing what to expect. So when that happened, I started thinking about it, and I have been discriminated against in that sort. But I never really took it as an insult because I knew that caring for the safety of others is an amazing thing to do. I mean. But it has to do a lot with discrimination, which I don't want to get into right now. It's too long to speak about. Well, I have been discriminated against. And the course just woke me up and opened up my mind because I began to think, wow, these people have been discriminated against because of the stories they shared with us. Everyone had a different experience. Someone had it with the cops. Someone had it with with their teachers. Someone had it with their friends. Everyone's been discriminated against in some way that really affected the person they are, and really they built on that. They grew up with that. And everyone's experiences. I did not know anything about gender before I joined this class, and this class woke me up. There was people who were transgender. There was people who were homosexual. There was people who were non-homosexual. So this class really opened up my mind, and to think and just give them an ear and just hear someone's experiences and know that everyone's different and everyone's shaped differently. And I believe that if we all get to know each other in at least one way, we could find similarities, and I believe that racism can be cured, but that's going to take the individual to pursue it, and that's the hardest part of it, and that's the reason why it still exists in this day, in my opinion. And with all the problems going on right now with police brutality and all the things occurring, it's just uh, if every I believe if every individual has it in their heart that no one's different and you have similarities in one way or another, then this whole situation would be cured. This whole problem would be cured and left behind. So uh, that's what I had to speak about. I went a little bit over the time, and I apologize for that. I spoke a lot. It's just so much content that I could go on all day about it, and there's so much to talk about, and there's so much to go deep into, because it's just a huge topic that you could analyze and go microscopically into every detail. So I appreciate your time listening to me, and whoever's watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I recommend this class for anyone that's willing to have an open mind, uh, have the time to think about what people's experiences are, and to feel with the person, and to understand what you should capture from every little detail here and there. And that's what makes this a great class. I appreciate it, and Jody's a great professor. He makes this class so interesting and so unique, to the point where you could never ever imagine it to be a course like that. I never ever thought I would take a course like that. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it for anyone. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.